The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
Welcome to the show. As our listeners know, Lewis, there's a number of different theories about what exactly happened on 9/11. The one thing I think everybody can agree on, regardless of whether you're a 9/11 truther or a 9/11, it happened the way the government says, or whatever type of theory you subscribe to, I don't think anybody would deny that firefighters and policemen and police women and all sorts of first responders were on the scene on that day, right? I mean, nobody calls that part into question, right?
Right.
And there has been a situation which in a way has been resolved in the last 24 hours regarding a 9/11 first responders bill that the Senate has finally reached a deal to pass that honestly to me represents the absolute worst. What can I even say? The absolute worst repercussion, consequence, indication of how corrupt in many ways the American political system is. And, you know, we're very critical of Fox News on this show, Lewis, as you know. But I have to hand it to Shepard Smith, who time and time again, we can find his faults. I'll be the first one to tell you he has them. But time and time again, seems to just come out on the side of reason and the side of logic, which when you're watching Fox News can almost seem completely out of place, can it not?
Sure.
And I don't even know where to start with this. Let's start at the beginning. Shepard Smith the other day started talking about how are people sleeping at night, Republicans specifically, after saying no to this first responders bill. And lo and behold, just wait until you hear how it was going to be paid for and what effect that had. But let's start at the very beginning here with Shepard Smith on Fox News.
How do they sleep at night after this vote on ground zero first responders from 9/11? Are they going to get that done? Or are we just going to leave these American heroes out there to twist in the wind?
Well, it's a good question, and it's a national shame. The idea that the people.
Okay, so there. Shepard Smith plants the idea with Chris Wallace, who up to this point, by the way, wasn't really doing any critical reporting on the fact that it was voted down and it looked like it wasn't going to happen. So then it goes on, and Shepard Smith goes even further, and he says, who's going to be held responsible for the fact that these people are getting sicker and sicker? As you know, Lewis, the effects of having been a first responder at ground zero, significant. Everything from life-changing or even life-ending lung issues, cancers, irreversible conditions. I mean, literally, these people are, I hate the fake support our troops type of stuff, but really these people actually are heroes. Mm-hmm. And they now are facing the repercussions. And Shepard Smith just flat out asking the logical questions here.
People's feet to the fire when we're able to put a 52-story building down there so far at ground zero. We're able to pay for tax cuts for billionaires who don't need them, and it's not going to stimulate the economy. But we can't give health care to ground zero first responders who ran right into the fire, went down there to save people. Do people know what this city was like that day?
Okay, so Lewis, I know it's incredible to believe, but this actually happened on Fox News. This wasn't on a different network. This is real. It's not a Shepard Smith impersonator. This is Fox News reporting, and it's so foreign to us when someone actually just flat out says something logical without GOP talking points or spin on Fox Hard News that it attracts attention. It seems almost out of place.
But this is a story that can hit home for some of the people on Fox News.
You would think so. We'll get to that. I mean, if you even have Fox News on your side on this one, the Democrats have to hold the Republicans' feet to the fire on this. But Shep Smith goes on to admit he got the idea of how absurd it is that what's going on with this bill, which has passed now, from Jon Stewart. And that's fine. Then it goes through Shep Smith. It starts to spread through Chris Wallace. And then everybody on Fox News, of course, 9/11 responders, of course. Of course, you got to pay for that. Got to pay for that. Now, what's the truth here? The truth is that this bill was going to be paid for how? The costs that were going to be associated with funding health benefits for these first responders, it was going to be paid for by closing a tax loophole that existed, which reduced tax liability for foreign companies. Any surprise there, Lewis? That's the truth here. That's where this was going to be funded. And to keep tax loopholes for foreign companies 9/11 first responders were not going to get funding, no matter what their health situation. Can you think of anything more despicable?
No, that's pretty bad.
The Democrats need to play hardball on this. I mean, you have Fox News on your side. Let's do it. You have to make this, it's time to hit the Republicans hard on this one, Lewis. And we're not really hearing it right now. And I understand that there's other stuff in the news. There's Don't Ask, Don't Tell repeal, which we'll talk about a little bit later. There's what should Obama be doing next? How is Obama doing? I get that those things are going on. But if you are a progressive, if you are a liberal, if you're a Democrat in the U.S. House or Senate, this is the one that you need to make absolutely clear. Why was this not going through? I don't know. Every week, it seems, we're pointing out, hey, the Democrats could get ahead on this one. This is
a big one.
And we never really hear it, do we?
No. Now, this is something that could help in 2012.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it even...
And don't just do it because it's a political move. Do it because it's the right thing to do, obviously.
I mean, we're not going to fund 9/11 first responders because foreign companies who donate to politicians want to keep those tax loopholes. And it's Democrats and Republicans. In this particular case, it was Republicans holding it up. Now, we'll move on a little bit, but still on the same issue. Johnny Isakson was on C-SPAN the other day, and a caller asks very directly about this, and Johnny Isakson, I think very coyly, pretends not to hear the question. He answers a different question. Some people are saying, well, he's an older guy. He couldn't really hear the question. I believe he heard it. I believe he heard the question and he pretended not to. Let's take a listen.
The Republicans are blocking debate of the 9/11 first responders bill, which, I mean, you have people dying from things that happened when I'm just working there for a year after, and I was wondering what your opinion is on that and why the Senate is blocking that but debating stuff that doesn't matter right now. Thank you.
What's your opinion?
I think I heard parts of it. It was a little bit garbled, so if I missed the answer, I apologize. But I think the question was with regard to what the Senate agenda and going back to Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and maybe the DREAM Act as well, and prohibiting debate because the Republicans have not voted for cloture on either one of those. And I think the primary reason it hasn't voted for cloture is that the message is very mixed from our committee.
Yeah, right. Answer a question about cloture. That's exactly what was being asked. Last thing Johnny Isakson wants to talk about, Republican senator from Georgia. Cloture. Amazing. I believe he heard it. I don't know what you think, Lewis.
Probably.
So the bill has passed, and I'm just begging. I mean, come on. It is time, Democrats, to get it together and mount a campaign around this. Republicans, in order to keep favor with foreign companies and tax loopholes, wanted to prevent money from getting to 9/11 first responders. And that really needs to be the main narrative here. Let's just get it together. I mean, come on. I don't understand any reason not to. It would be politically advantageous. It is the right thing to do. We need to expose who really is patriotic here. Is this patriotic or not? And there were filibuster threats and threats of obstruction from Senator Tom Coburn, Republican from Oklahoma. And fortunately, we got this through. Kirsten Gillibrand and Chuck Schumer reached the deal with the Republican senators. And I just can't, for all the talk about liberals don't care about firefighters or soldiers or 9/11 or whatever, I cannot be more glad that this finally went through because it is the right thing to do.
Yeah, but there's a lot of hypocrisy here.